Well, that third goal that Southampton conceded means that they drop a place in the Premier League table. They started the evening in 10th. They dropped down into the bottom half and into 11th. Meanwhile, for Bournemouth, who started the evening in 9th, they move up into third place in the Premier League table. They have played a game more, but they're level on points with the champions after 6 and 5 games respectively. Liverpool, of course, still have that 100% record. As we go into this weekend, Manchester City are taking on Watford. Liverpool have got to go to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea. Are we going to see that gap shorten this weekend, Jamie?
Well, I think it's certainly one that Man City will look at and think we're really confident of winning that game. A draw, you know, away at Chelsea, more often than not, I said before the show, is a good result, certainly in years gone by, but it's so competitive now between the top two, and if we're going to have a season like we did last season with the point tallies that you're probably going to need to win the title, Liverpool have to go to these big away games and win. That was the difference with City last season. But I think the start of this season has been good in that it feels like something from 10 years ago when we were playing, where Gary played for the top team, United, but even in the first 7 or 8 games, they might lose a game or draw a game, and then they'd sort of kick into gear, or the top teams would. And that happened every season. It's just that City and Liverpool, certainly last season and City before us, they just win from day one, and it doesn't seem to change. And the great thing this season is sort of United have lost their own to Palace, City have dropped 5 points already, Arsenal dropped points at Watford. It's all happened like a normal season. It's only Liverpool, really, who haven't had that sort of hiccup early on, but I think the quality of Liverpool now and Man City, when they go to these big away games, you still think they're going to win, really. So, I mean, I still class Liverpool as favourite to be a tough game, but you still, out of Chelsea or Liverpool to come out with 3 points in that game, you still fancy Liverpool.
Do you not think that Liverpool, though, now with Laporte injured, with Stones injured, they have the most unbelievable opportunity? If they can retain the form from the last 12 months in the first 4 months of this season until those players come back. I mean, Stones will be back before that, but Laporte's back. Do you not think they can be out of sight?
I don't think out of sight, but I do think it's still really early. I think that was an experience for Liverpool last season at certain times when I think they had a 5 or 6, 7 point lead, something I think probably January, February. No, they had a game in hand, so it was 5. But it's still so long to go. But what I think is Liverpool have got to target the City game. I think the first game, I think City go to Anfield. And last season, that game was a draw. Liverpool had a really tough run of fixtures, and they sort of fell into that game, and they were hanging on for a draw, really. I think it was just before an international break.
They played at Napoli, hadn't they?
Yeah, so they'd had a sort of tough run of games, and they couldn't really go for City. I think the situation City are in defensively, in a few weeks when that game comes up, they have to go and win that game. You think about winning the title, and I said it last year, how many teams can beat City? OK, we've seen it last week. A bit of a freak, let's be honest about it. It won't happen too often this season. If Liverpool want to go and win the title, they're the team have to say we're going to have to take points off City, because not many other teams will, if, as I said, they show the form that they've shown over the last couple of years.
But they go into the Chelsea game, Liverpool, off the back of a defeat by Napoli in the Champions League.
They do. Obviously, I mentioned the Champions League with Liverpool last season and got it wrong in the sense that I didn't think Liverpool could compete in 2 competitions right to the very end, and they proved me horribly wrong. I still think Liverpool need to win a Premier League title. It's absolutely essential that they do that, particularly with this team that they've got now. On Sunday, I don't know how any team can handle that front three. They are absolutely magnificent, that front three, and from a Chelsea point of view, they're going to struggle, so they're going to need to score goals, Chelsea, and let's see what happens. But it's a really intriguing game, but I think Liverpool will win on Sunday.